Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the last video, we have discussed about the state space model of the induction motor. So here we will discuss state space model in more detail in arbitrary frame of reference. The flux linkage equations for the induction motor are shown over here. Phi qs, phi ds, phi qr and phi dr can be written like this, where Ls is the sum of leakage inductance of the stator side and the mutual inductance, and similarly your Lr is the leakage inductance of the rotor side plus the magnetizing or the mutual inductance. So phi qs is the sum of the flux linkages because of the q axis current of the stator and the q axis current of the rotor. The rotor current will be passing through only the mutual inductance Lm. Let's suppose this is LLR, this is LLS and this is Lm. So from this side we have the IQR and from this side we have the IQS. So looking from the stator side, we have the flux linkages which are associated with these two. So that is given by this equation. And the phi dx, the d-axis circuit, if you consider the d-axis current I ds, right, in arbitrary frame of reference, and the IDR in arbitrary frame of reference, so you can write down this equation. And similarly, if you write down the equation looking from this side on the q and the d axis, so you can write down the flux linkage equation like this. Now from the equation 1 and 3 you can write down this metric equation. It is phi qs, this one, and the phi qr, considering these two over here, those will be equal to ls, lm, lr, lm, these ones, into iqs and iqr. So this you can say the q axis stator and the rotor current. So this is the stator q axis current and this one is the rotor q axis current. So you have basically related the q axis currents with the q axis flux linkages in terms of the inductance. Here you can see the inductances. So now if you want to find out the current, if the flux linkages are known and if you want to find out the current, so you can rearrange this equation. So IQS and IQR can be written as the inverse of this matrix into this one. So how to take the inverse? So simply 2 cross 2 matrix. So the determinant of this matrix is this one, Ls into Lr minus Lm square into the joint of this matrix, and that is Lr minus Lm and Ls. The signs are changed over here and their positions are swapped into this matrix. So from here if I write down the equation for IQS can be written like that, 1 by determinant, and if you solve this part, this multiplied with this minus this, so you will get the current equation. Let's suppose that this determinant is equal to delta 1. So this equation can be written like this. And similarly, using the second row, we can expand it for the IQR and we will get this expression for the IQR in terms of phi QR and the phi QS. Q axis rotor current and the Q axis rotor flux linkages and the Q axis stator flux linkages. With the help of those ones, we can find out IQR if you know about these parameters: stator inductance, rotor inductance and the magnetizing inductance. So you can write down this equation like this. Similarly, if I consider these two equations, the equation 2 and equation 4, so I can write down the d-axis stator and the rotor flux linkages in the matrix equation form. So for that we will be having Ls, Lm, Lr and Lm, right? And on the other side we will be having IDS and the IDR, right? So considering the equation 2 and 4, we can write down this equation that the flux of the d-axis, right, that will be equal to this matrix into the currents of the d-axis, right? Dx is stator current and the dx is rotor current. And now if we want to write the equation for currents of the dx's for stator and rotor in terms of the flux linkages, we will have to take the inverse of this one, and simplifying like above, you can write down the equation for IDS and IDR in arbitrary frame of reference, and those can be written like this. Over here we are going to define some terms which will be used. The first term is the stator coupling factor, that is equal to Ks, and it is defined as the ratio of the Lm with Ls. What is Ls? Ls is the total inductance of the stator side. It is equal to Lls plus Lm. So basically this factor, the coupling factor, is telling us that how much of the total flux from the stator side, stator inductance, is linked with the mutual inductance or linked with the rotor, because the mutual inductance is basically representing that flux that is linked between stator and the rotor. This is the common one, right? And this inductance is Lm, this is Lls, and this is Llr. So Lm is basically that inductance which is common between stator and the rotor, and tells us that how much flux is basically linked between stator and the rotor out of the total flux that was available at the stator and the total flux that was available at the rotor, or the total inductance on the rotor, how much of that is basically contributing towards that flux that is linked with the stator. So coupling factor of the stator, that how much out of total inductance Ls is the Lm, or if I talk in terms of the flux linkages, how much of the total stator current is basically linked with the rotor. The linked current is basically, the linked flux is basically Lm. So this is the coupling factor. Ideally speaking, it should be 1. There should be no leakage inductance, there should be no leakage flux. The whole of the stator flux should be linked with the rotor, but we have the air gap and the flux, some leakage flux in the surrounding of the stator conductor. So whole of the stator current is not linked with the rotor, rather some of its flux, rather we can say about 99% of that one is linked with the rotor. Very small leakage flux will be there, and that is represented with the help of this leakage inductance. So stator coupling factor tells us that how much of the stator flux is linked with the rotor, right? It is a coupling term. And similarly, we can define a coupling term or factor Kr, that is the ratio of Lm with Lr, that how much of the total rotor flux is linked with the stator. So that is indicated by this Lm, the total inductance is Lr, so this is representing the leakage flux. Llr is for that flux, the leakage inductance of the rotor side. So ideally speaking, it should have been 0. The whole of your rotor current should be linked with the stator. So ideal value of this coupling factor is 1, but practically it is Lm by Lr, where Lm is very close to Lr because your leakage inductances Lls and Llr are very small. So we can say that Ls is nearly equal to Lm. It should be. The leakage flux should be as small as possible. So coupling factor is defined based upon this ratio. Now we define another coefficient, that is the sigma, that is called the leakage coefficient, and that is basically tells us that how much of the total flux is linked with the from stator to rotor or from rotor to the stator, right, and how much is lost. So this is basically defined as 1 minus Lm square by Ls into Lr, and this can be written as Lm by Ls, Lm by Lr. So what is this Lm by Ls? That is the coupling factor of the stator and the coupling factor of the rotor. This is the useful flux linkages, because this is giving us the coupling, and 1 minus the total, this is representing the total. So total flux minus this will be the flux that is leaked out, that is not useful, that is not linked from both sides. So leakage coefficient, ideally speaking, it should be 0, because these two terms Ks and Kr should be approaching to 1. If they are approaching to 1, so you will get this term as 0. So this is representing the leakage flux, right? Then we have the stator time constant, that is equal to Ls by Lr, stator inductance divided by, this is Rs, stator resistance. Then the rotor time constant, that is equal to Lr by Rr, and the two more definition, transient stator time constant, that is given as Ts prime, that is equal to sigma into Ts. It is based upon this leakage. Based upon this leakage, this time constant of the stator is modified and is written like this. And similarly, the transient rotor time constant, that is defined as Tr prime, that is equal to sigma into Tr, where sigma is the leakage coefficient. So we have these some definitions, and those help us to visualize our model in an easy way. So now we are going to write down these flux equations or the current equations, those we have obtained over here from the state space model. Equation for the current, IQR and IQS, and in terms of the flux linkages of the stator and the rotor sides of the respective axis, right? So we can use these definitions, and we can write these equations for the currents in terms of these definitions. So now let's take them one by one. First of all, the first voltage equation, VQS is equal to Rs into IQS plus omega C plus the derivative of the phi QS. We have seen these equations in the previous videos. QX is voltage equation, and if we rearrange it, we can write it like that. This is basically representing the derivative part. So we can write this like this. And now if we take IQS as we have defined above in terms of the flux linkages, so taking this equation from here, we are going to replace this IQS with this. Rest of the equation is same, and now we are going to rearrange it to write it in this form, expanding this one, right? Expanding it with this part and taking this one with this and rearranging it, writing in this way that phi QS, phi DS, phi QR and phi DR. First of all, the stator side, then the rotor side, and then the input. This is basically the input over here in arbitrary frame of reference. All of these variables are in the arbitrary frame of reference. Okay, now let's suppose that this is A. So now if I take this equation, A minus Rs Lr by lambda 1. So what is this lambda 1 that we defined above? This was equal to, if you go back and look, this is basically Ls Lr minus Lm square. So lambda 1, let's write down over here, lambda 1 is equal to Ls Lr minus Lm square. So now let's take this value over here, and from here if I take LSLR common out, I can write it like that, and then cancelling out these one and shifting this Rs with this. So Ls by Rs can be written as the stator time constant into sigma will be the transient stator time constant. So this term can be written like this. Similarly, this term Rs Lm by delta 1, if we use the definitions, we can write them like this. So finally this equation, this equation can be written like this. Derivative of phi QS is 1 by Ts into phi QS minus omega C phi ds plus Kr by Ts prime into phi QR. The 0 term 0 into phi dr, because actually phi dr is not over there, just to represent it in this standard state space form, we are going to mark it with the 0, because we are considering the flux linkages as the state variables over here, and we will write down the equations in terms of the flux linkages. So q axis flux linkages and the stator side flux linkages and the rotor side flux linkages. So stator side flux linkages and the rotor side flux linkages and the input term. So from this equation we can write like that. Now we consider the d-axis voltage equation. So d-axis voltage equation is this one, and if we take the value of the IDS, this one, from the equation that we have already defined, that was this one. So if we replace this IDS with this value and we simplify, so we can write it like that: stator side flux and the rotor side flux and the input term. And again, using the definitions which we have defined above, this part Ls Lr by delta 1 can be written as 1 by Ts prime, and the second part, that is LMRS by delta 1, that can be written as KR by TS prime. So we can write down this equation from here, and this is our second equation in terms of the state space form. Derivative of the phi ds and all the state variables are over here, and this is the input term. Similarly, the previous one that we defined, this was the derivative of phi qs and all the state variables. So standard form of the state space. Now let's look at the q-axis voltage equation, q-axis rotor side. So that is given as r into iqr plus omega c minus omega r into phi dr, and the derivative of the phi qr. The c is representing the arbitrary frame of reference. Okay, now writing it in this form, just take this part over here and rearrange it. So we can write down it like this, and then if we take the IQR from the equations which we have already defined above, so IQR is given by this one in terms of the flux linkages. So taking this value of the IQR over here in terms of the flux linkages and expanding this equation, we can write it like this. And then again, let's consider it A and B, and we can write it in terms of the definitions, those we have defined above, in terms of the stator time constant and the stator coupling constant and the leakage coefficient. So that you can write it like that, Ks by Tr prime, and Tr prime is equal to 2R into sigma. So this is basically the leakage coefficient, this is the coupling coefficient. So using these for A and B, this A can be written like that and the B can be written like this from here. So this equation can be written like that, derivative of the phi qr, then Ks by Tr prime, that is from here, with the phi qs, then 0 phi ds, and this term is minus 1 by Tr, and over here this term and this one, right? So this is our third equation for the state space model. Now considering the d-axis rotor side, so VDR will be equal to RR into IDR minus omega c minus omega r into phi qr, and the derivative of the phi dr, d-axis voltage equation, and replacing the current in terms of the phi dr and phi ds from the equations above. So we can write this equation like this. We are going to replace the current over here, this one, and writing this equation like this. Either you can say this one or this one. Okay, so now again over here, if we expand and write in terms of the definitions, so this part A can be written as Ks by Tr prime, and this is 1 by Tr prime. So we have this equation from here, right? So this is the derivative of the phi dr, 0 into phi qs, Ks by Tr prime into phi ds, omega c minus omega r into phi qr, and minus 1 by Tr, phi dr plus Vdr. So these are the q-axis flux linkages, sorry, stator flux linkages, and these are the rotor flux linkages, and this is the input term. So now if I write down these equations all together, which we have defined above in 10, 12, 14 and 16, this is the equation. You can say phi qs derivative, this is phi ds derivative, this is phi qr derivative, and this is phi dr derivative, and our state variable is this flux linkage. So you can have written these equations in terms of these flux linkages, and on the left hand side you have the rate of change of the one of the state variable, that is the derivative of that one. So these four equations can be used to represent your induction machine in arbitrary frame of reference in terms of state space equation. So state space representation from these equations like that, right? So here you can see this is going to be written in the matrix form like this, that is the derivative of the phi qs, phi ds, phi qr and phi dr, and then collecting these terms, minus 1 by ts, omega c, ks by tr, and the 0. So this is the term which is linked with the phi qs in all of these equations, and then considering this one, the terms with phi ds, minus omega c minus 1 by ts, 0, and ks by tr prime. So you can write it like this, and the third one is the phi qr. So phi qr terms are these ones, right? So kr by ts prime, 0, minus 1 by tr prime, and omega c minus omega r. So taking over here in this equation, in this matrix, and similarly the last term phi dr terms, those are basically these ones, right? So writing them over here, 0 kr by ts prime and so on, and then the input matrix. So we have two inputs, vqs and vds. For squirrel cage induction machine, vqs and the vds, these two will be the inputs, stator side. And if we look at this one, vqr and vdr, which are present over here, but for squirrel cage induction machine, these two parameters will be 0 because the rotor of your squirrel cage induction motor is short circuited, and these voltages will be 0. So we will only consider these ones as the inputs, vqs and the vds. So considering this part and this part as 0, so here you can see the input matrix, vqs and the vds. vqs is present in the first equation with the derivative of the phi qs, and with the derivative of phi ds we have the vds. So here you can see that we have placed ones over here for accommodating vqs and vds with derivative of phi qs and derivative of phi ds, and we have not considered the q axis and the d axis rotor voltages over here. So this is the matrix B, and that is accommodating the inputs in this state space representation. If we consider the generic model, that means that we are going to consider all of these inputs, vqs, vds, vqr and the vdr. Then the state space equation will be written like this. Here you can see the matrix A, the matrix B. Now it has 4 rows and 4 columns because we are going to consider VQS, VDS, VQR and the VDR. In squirrel cage machine, these two will be 0. So if we are not going to consider these two terms, then there will be no need of these columns, and this matrix will be reduced to 4 cross 2 instead of 4 cross 4. So in generic form, we can say the state space representation of the squirrel cage induction machine in arbitrary frame of reference is this one, with the consideration of all the voltages, the stator Q and D axis voltages, and the rotor Q axis and the D axis voltages. However, if we talk about only the squirrel cage machine, in the squirrel cage machine, VQR will be considered as 0, VTR will be considered as 0. So those two terms will be absent, and so our matrix B will be limited to this one, that will be a 4 cross 2 matrix. But for a generic one, it will be a 4 cross 4 matrix with the Q and D axis of the rotor inputs as well. So most of the time the induction motor is the squirrel cage induction motor, because it is the main motor that is used in the industry because of it being the maintenance free, smaller in size as compared to your wound rotor type machine. So we have developed the model for squirrel cage machine that is represented by this equation. However, in generic form, you can represent it like that. So if I conclude this video, what we have done, we have developed the state space model of the induction motor in the arbitrary frame of reference, right, and considering the flux linkages as the state variables, right. So this is basically the x dot, this is the matrix A, state matrix, this is the matrix of our state variables, vector of state variables, input matrix, and the inputs u. So you can monitor any of these flux linkages at the output by using the output equation y is equal to cx plus du. So if you want to observe all the flux linkages, so you can define the matrix C like that: 1 1 1 and 1. All other entries will be zeros, right? And this will be matrix C into the state variable matrix, that is from here phi qs in arbitrary frame of reference, phi ds in arbitrary frame of reference, phi qr in arbitrary frame of reference, and phi dr in arbitrary frame of reference. So that will give you the output, and the output is definitely all of these: phi qs, phi ds, phi qr and the phi dr, and you can observe any one of these one at the output. So in this discussion, we have considered the flux linkages at the as the state variables. In the upcoming videos, we will see that how we can represent our state space model in terms of the other state variables. Those are the inductor currents, right? So if I conclude this video, we have worked out the state space model of the induction motor in an arbitrary frame of reference in detail, and later on we will be using in the different controls to implement the induction motor drives. So thank you very much.